Okay, we're going to look at a couple of number patterns. There's not a specific technique you can use. What I generally recommend doing first is just trying to look at the difference between the numbers in the pattern first. So, for example, with the first one, between 1 and 4, that's a difference of 3. Between 4 and 9, that's a difference of 5. Between 9 and 16, that's a difference of 7. So you can kind of pick up a pattern each time it's increasing by 2. So the next logical one would probably be that you're increasing by 9. So that would mean that our number would be 16 plus 9, which is 25. However, you could have also sort of recognized that these numbers 1, 4, 9, 16, they're called perfect squares. So it's just the next perfect square, and the next one after 16 is 25, because 5 times 5 is 25. Alright, moving on to the next question. Just having a look at those numbers. Same approach. What we can try to do is look for the difference between the two. So the difference between 1 1/4 and 2 1/2, that is a difference of, it's just going to be 1 1/4. And then between 2 1/2 and 5, well, that's just going to be 2 1/2. Between 5 and 10, that's a difference of 5. So hopefully you can sort of pick up there that what's happening is the number's just doubling each time. So 1 1/4 doubled is 2 1/2. 2 1/2 doubled is 5. 5 doubled is 10. So double 10 to get the next number, and we're just going to have 20. And then moving on to the third question, 945 to 925. Now that's a change, a negative change, and that's a change of 20. So from 925 to 905, that's also a change of negative 20. So fairly straightforward. To get to the next number, we just need to subtract 20, which is going to give us an answer of 885. And we've done the first three questions. Okay, lastly, I just wanted to draw your attention to a fraction number pattern and the trick that we use here. It's often to identify the pattern, it makes sense to try and get all the numbers with the same denominator. So we're looking for the LCD here. So that number 1, you must almost imagine it as a fraction 1 over 1. And then it should be fairly straightforward to see that the LCD in this case is going to be equal to 6. So all we need to do is the first fraction times the denominator by 2 and times the numerator by 2. So we're going to end up with 2 over 6. The second fraction can stay over the same, 4 over 6. Then the last one, 1 over 1, I have to times that one by 6. So times the numerator and denominator by 6. And then I'm going to have 6 over 6. And from there it should be relatively easy to identify the pattern. You can see the numerator is going from 2 to 4 to 6, so it's going up 2 at a time. So that would logically mean that the next one's going to be 8 over 6. So that's how to do number patterns involving fractions. Well done.